Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God! Chubs gone wild.
Hey there, everybody. It's us. We're back. And it's Chubs Gone Wild, episode 521, recorded on December 4th, 2023. It's currently 65 degrees and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, where it is almost Hanukkah, just 2 days away. I know, right? Sneaks up on you. Also, it is 17 days till winter solstice, when the days begin getting longer again. Womp womp.
Well,
Also,
they say that the mornings are earlier now. But
really?
the sun still is. It's still the sun doesn't start going down later until after winter solstice. For some reason, the mornings start early. I don't know why. I don't know why it wouldn't be just a general progression, but I don't know. I think they're lying to me.
I think everybody has a theory, but
Well, it's not really a theory. It's called science.
damn it. Okay. Well, it's also 21 days until Christmas, and I hear those days are getting shorter as they come as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you better get your Christmas shopping done. That's all.
Oh yeah, I still got my list here. Yeah. Oh, during my week, I need to make a note real quick to remind me to tell you about my lovely issues with deliveries yesterday. All right, moving on. Where are we at? Okay, so it's 22 days until Kwanzaa, 28 until 2004, and then
4
until 2004. We're going back to when we were at the height of our Lambda players careers.
Bush was president, Cheney was vice president.
And as horrifying as that was, now it's just like,
I know we're rooting for Cheney's daughter Liz to
I know. I was like, I don't like her stance on most things, but I'd still vote for her if I had to.
I don't agree with her stance on a lot of things, but she still wants this country to be a democracy.
Exactly.
And that's I can be cool with a lot of things, but when you want to completely change the outlook of this country, no.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, somebody was mentioning to me the other day, they're like, the Democrats this way and the Republicans that way. And I'm like, look, I want to go back to the days when I wasn't paying attention because the president was boring. They always made a big stink and nothing happened because they were boring. Anyway, I like those days. All right, it is 332 days until Halloween. So get those costumes ready. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts like My Life in Fragments, books, videos, and more. And Patreons that support us and follow us now have access to the new audiobook version of The Fortune Cookie. And hopefully everybody is enjoying that. And we want to thank our current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, who has returned, Eric, Sean, Kingsley, Brothers Natus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can become a supporter of the show for as little as $1 a month. A month. That's a great deal. Okay. Join me for a moment of contemplation as we affirm the affirmations. Divine peace and harmony always surround me. Yeah, but they don't do much. They just surround me. They don't actually help much. Just saying. All right, moving on. Hey, today, December 4th, 1991, Islamic militants in Lebanon released kidnapped American journalist Terry Anderson after 2,454 days in captivity. As chief Middle East correspondent for the Associated Press, Anderson covered the long-running civil war in Lebanon between 75 and 90. On March 16th, 1985, he was kidnapped on a West Beirut street while leaving a tennis court, and his captors took him to the southern suburbs of the city, where he was held prisoner in an underground dungeon for the next 6.5 years. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, I do. I remember them making a big deal about it when he was released. So, it's absolutely insane. 6.5 years of your life, and not to mention all the time that you're going to have to be in basically PTSD recovery from something like that, if you can recover from something like that. All right, but let's look into some happier moments and see if there's anything that we celebrated today. Today is Cabernet Franc Day. Did you have any wine?
No.
Yeah, no. I don't really like wine that much. It's just me.
I
Anyway,
do. It's just it's too expensive.
oh well, yeah, that's why that nice strawberry Boone's Farm. Uh, I do like that. I'm kind of cheap that way.
Really?
Yeah, I do like it. Everybody makes a joke out of it, and I'm like, that's fine. You go drink your $36 bottle of dry red crap, and I'll just have the nice sparkling strawberry. Yes. Anyway, Extraordinary Work Team Recognition Day. Yeah, exactly. International Cheetah Day.
Do they really need a day for themselves there?
I have so many things to say, but I will not. National Cookie Day. Oh, shit. Well, I do have what it takes to make a cookie, except for the energy and the desire to. But I do like the cookies. Today is also National Dice Day and National Sock Day.
Wait, Dike Day?
Dice.
Like roll the dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Santa's List Day. I'm probably not on it. Womp womp. Also, Walt Disney Day. Well, I'm sure that Daniel and Zach are just having a blast today. Also, wear brown shoes. Nope, didn't do that one either.
Nope.
Wildlife conservation. They only get one day. Oh well, today wasn't that day. All right, well, no, I guess we kind of failed on that one. What we got next? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Birthdays. Let's talk about some birthdays. We've got some great ones coming up. And starting with today with Mark and Deshaun and Daniel. Oh, that sweet Daniel. Oh, he's 31 today. All right. Also, recent birthdays. Noel, Jackie, and Jed. And coming up, we have happy birthday to Dre, John, Matt, Taylor, co-pilot. Taylor from Pod is my co-pilot. Also, Polypeptide. I Okay, moving on. Also to Leonard Bailey, Ron Williams, the amazing author, and we have Jonathan, Martin, Daniel, Boyce. No, and Charlie. Charlie. Okay, and two that are birthdays in memory. Boyce Hinman, who did amazing amount of legislative. Um, he formed a group called Lambda Letters, and they were an advocacy group that basically helped change a lot of wonderful. Uh, what am I thinking of? Legislation in California to better queers.
Okay.
Yeah, you know Boyce, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then also posthumously, a happy heavenly birthday, as they like to say, to Kim McCann, uh, who we talked about, passed earlier this year. We talked a little bit about her. So, all right. Do.
Sorry, all the dinging, but my brother feels compelled to try to make me become a vegan.
I was just gonna say something about that when you said
Well,
brother.
and the problem with that is that he also told me earlier this morning that he was cleaning out his pants because he shit himself. So why is that? Because he doesn't get enough, like protein. He's
Mm,
just washing it down,
yeah,
Ugh,
vegetables will do that to you, I
they
guess.
will, they will.
Uh,
Everyone says, "Oh no, they give you good poops." Yeah, well, if they're countered with something else, stop it. Oh my God, leave me alone.
oh,
Why?
but you're saying that to me. I was like, what? I didn't do anything. All right. All right. Well, we did get something in our feedback, and that was from Sean, and he wrote in and said that museum Matt went to sounds pretty cool. I like airplanes. Well, yes. If you're ever up in Alameda, you should check it out. And it is a Korean, retired Korean mm, airline carrier, aircraft carrier.
So
So
it's a Korean ship or it's a ship that we used?
it was in from the Korean era. Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
And it is really cool. And there were planes on it that actual planes that would land and take off from it and everything. So it was just very, very, very neat. But it was also very surreal. So anyway, Chub hugs. I'd like to send Chub hugs to everyone right now that is facing health issues or health concerns, because there's a lot of us and we need to just all support each other.
Do
How
you
about
think
you?
it's fair for you to send out a chub hug that you benefit from?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. Okay.
But as I told you a story earlier, that's yeah, who sparked this? He knows who he is.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Um, you want to know my chub hug?
Yes, please.
My chug hug goes out to the people who haven't found Christmas yet,
Oh,
who just haven't gotten enough energy or want or need to put up the tree. I'll tell you, um, this year, just being forced into, like, okay, like for instance, my nieces were doing a gift exchange, just a $25 gift exchange.
mm-hmm.
So that has gotten Sean and I motivated to. So we've already shopped for that stuff.
Good.
And then I'm having the party, coming up in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got us motivated. And at night, what I do is, when Sean works in the morning, he's usually in bed by about 10 o'clock. So that gives me a couple hours. That's why I've been watching movies late night.
Nice.
And Christmas movies, and then the Christmas shows on the nights where he goes to bed like 11:30, and then I can do an hour or a half hour shows. That's why I caught up on all the cartoons. And I'll tell you, some of the new cartoons are shit. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah.
the animation's awful. They're terrible storylines. I don't get how they get made. But anyway, uh, so uh, if you're at a point where you just can't break into the Christmas mood, force yourself. Just
Yeah.
force yourself. Do Christmas cards. Put yourself on. I'm going out Christmas shopping. Or like I did a lot of Christmas shopping for during the Black Friday and the Thanksgiving weekend. That whole week, oh my God! Not only did I get stuff I wanted, but I also got stuff that we needed that was on sale. And I got my first Timu.
Yes.
Um, Boy, it was just the bag came in. It looked like it had been kicked from China. Uh,
Yes.
but everything was fine inside, and it
Yeah.
was. I was really happy with what I got. So yeah,
Good.
it's now I'm not feeling so nervous about it. And to come to find out that once it gets delivered to Sacramento, the postman brings it.
Yeah.
So then I know that it's not going to be 10 o'clock waiting for the thing to show up.
Yeah.
If the mailman didn't bring it when he came by, then it's not coming today. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was that was fun. But that's what I'm saying. I've already plotted out like stuff that I'm making for the party and things that I still have to do all my Hello Dollies and my Rhines coming up after the party. It's going to be a busy week after the
Mhm.
party because I can't have you know a bunch of rinds because I've got trays and trays and trays of rinds laying around drying after I make them. So I have to make sure that I have enough time and I'm not having a party in between.
Right.
So you can't start on that till the 18th. So busy, busy,
Uh,
busy. Oh my God, this sunlight in my fucking
I
eyes.
know. I was
It
noticing. Yeah.
was over here like
Uh,
5 minutes ago, and now it's traveling across my fucking face.
it's
Okay,
like skeet, skeet, skeet. Anyway, yeah. I
so
actually am thinking of baking something for the party, but something very different for me.
you were
Normally
saying
I'll just
lumpia.
buy a pie or something and bring it, but
Not
like
lumpia?
what?
Lumpia.
I was thinking of that, but then I saw this well, I saw a recipe and I'll just leave it at that until I decide whether I'm going to do it or not. Because if I do, I want it to be a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, lumpia's hard though. I
Well,
mean,
I
it's
wasn't
not
gonna make it
hard.
from scratch. I was
It's,
gonna buy it and just
okay.
do it
Yeah,
in butter and bring it
lumpia
along.
takes a lot of ingredients, and you
Oh
got to
yeah,
get it all prepped and ready to roll, and then you
which
fry it after that. But they're the
right.
best. They're the best when they're homemade.
You can get really good lumpia at Winco, and I fried them up with a little butter and I don't know, like salt or garlic, something. Anyway, they were so good. They're so yummy. Okay. All right. Moving on. Um, Celebrity deaths that happened this last week. We want to acknowledge the passing of Shane McGowan, the Pogues frontman. He died November 30th at age 65. Henry Kissinger, a German born American diplomat who shaped U.S. foreign policy in the second half of the 20th century and won a Nobel Prize for brokering an end to the Vietnam War. He died at 100 years old. Um, Sorry, I had to make a quick note here. There we go. We had retired Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to serve on the nation's highest court, and a crucial swing vote during her nearly 25-year tenure. She was 93 when she died. Francis Sternhagen,
Bernhagen.
yes, the two-time Tony Award winner, also known for her hit her roles in hit TV shows, including Sex and the City, died November 27th. She was also 93 years old. And Rosalind Carter, a lifelong advocate for mental health and human rights, died surrounded by her family November 26th, 2 days after she entered hospice care during her dementia diagnosis in May. She was 96. I'm not sure if we mentioned her last time, but she's
No, we
worth
didn't.
mentioning twice because she's pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, we had mentioned, I don't think she was on the list though. It was weird. I think maybe it somewhat maybe just happened. But yeah, I mean, talk about your three biggies right there, not to downgrade the Francis Sternhagen or Shane McGowan, but when you've got Henry Kissinger, Sandra Day O'Connor, and Rosalind Carter, I mean, Jesus.
Those are big,
Those
big
are big
people.
ones. Those are huge. And it was funny because Sean and I were sitting around going after Rosalind Carter and then Kissinger. He's going, it's got to be we got another one, and I go, and it's got to be a big one. It has to be a big one. This isn't, you can't have some guy that was on two episodes of Cheers, which is funny because Francis Sternhagen played Cliff Clavin's mother in the show. So
Oh,
but I mean, somebody who was basically a nobody can't go after Rosalind Carter and Henry Kissinger. So Sandra Day O'Connor was like huge as
yeah.
well. I mean, all of them were groundbreaking. You
Yes.
might not like all of them, but they were huge in their time.
Yeah. They changed the shape of our world. All right. Um, let's see. So, some celebrity news. Pop star Billie Eilish, who has confirmed that she accidentally came out in a recent interview in Variety magazine. The 21-year-old Grammy Award winner said she didn't want to make a big deal out of revealing her sexual preferences. Billie Eilish is physically attracted to women, but also so intimidated by them. Asked if she intended to come out, Eilish replied, "No, I didn't. But I kind of thought, wasn't it obvious? Please,
I
do you
thought it
listen to her
was.
music?
Yeah, I mean,
Of course she's a lesbian. It's depressing." Anyway, okay.
that's about the U-Haul. Come on, what were we thinking?
Yeah, but well, good for her though. Yeah. Okay, a video shared on social media showing actress Florence Pugh, or Pug, or Pook, or
Oh,
Pogue, that would make
I think
sense.
it's like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Getting hit in the face by something thrown from an audience at a Dune Part 2 event in Brazil. Pogue was posing for photos with the co-stars Austin Butler, Timothy Chalamet, Met, and Zendaya.
Oh my
All
ding dong.
I was gonna go there, but I thought, well, no, let's make it, yeah. At the time of the incident, it was not clear who threw the unknown object, but
Well,
yeah, it really whacked her.
this has been going on way too much.
Yep.
And I'll tell you something. Well, there was what was the one? The woman who got somebody threw water in her face and she threw the microphone at them. There was that one, that artist. I can't remember who it was because there's been so many lately where
Yeah.
people are getting something thrown at them. And actually, there's one really cool one of Lady Gaga getting something being thrown at Lady Gaga, but it gets right in front of Lady Gaga, and then it looks like it hit plexiglass or
Huh.
something. Even though there's nothing there, it kind of comes right up and then drops to the ground, and it's like, oh, there is. It was on the scaries, and it goes, somebody's looking out for Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
because I mean, and it was weird because you could see it flying at her, and then it hits this invisible wall and then drops to the ground right in front of her. It was freaky.
Well,
But it's got to stop. And I'll tell you, I mean, because the last thing we need to do is have to plexiglass the performers like they're fucking zoo
I was
animals.
just gonna say, if it's gonna get to that point where they're gonna start putting back plexiglass in front of this stage, and everybody's gonna have to perform behind that stage instead of being able to get out in the audience and stuff, because
Well, and that
ridiculous.
so it's gonna, anybody that's in the front rows, you're going to be seeing your reflection more than you're going to be seeing theirs.
Yeah.
So be thinking twice about this, you idiots,
Yep.
because once again, a few people are fucking up things for everybody, and it's terrible and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
She actually got hit in the eye with that what was thrown at her at the picture with the pictures. It hit her in the eye socket.
Uh,
So, yeah, I saw it on the news today. That's why I knew about
okay.
this.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin, star of 90s classics Home Alone and A Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, among the many other titles, received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this week. There to congratulate him was his on-screen mom from the beloved franchise, Catherine O'Hara, who I absolutely adore.
Yeah, I always one of my favorites of his, and it was really scary. Was I think it was The Bad Son.
The Bad Seed. No, no. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think you might be right, but
Yeah, it was. The scary part was when they threw the mannequin off the bridge over the highway,
uh-huh.
and it caused a major pileup of cars and stuff. It's just those kind of crazy people scare me. They really spook me.
It was actually called The Good Son.
A good son, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, even the pictures and stuff of the movie look creepy. Look like The Omen.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was fine with that ending to that movie. I was like, that works. But yeah, the thing that got me is I always thought that receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was something that they did when you reached a certain plateau of awesomeness or fame or whatever. And yeah, no, you actually have to buy it.
yeah. Well, or somebody has to purchase it for you.
Right.
Like
That's
fan clubs do it a lot of times. And other artists will buy, a star. It runs about $1,100.
$1,100 is not bad. I was thinking it was going to be a lot higher than that, like 10,000 or something like that.
Um,
Well,
I
we're going to have to get you a one.
but what's it going to be for?
Huh, just being you
Well,
isn't
no, because
enough.
each of them has it either has a TV on it, kind of a record player looking thing on it
Uh,
for music. I'm not sure. And I think it's a movie projector for movies. They have one for books. I think
mhm.
it's just a book, but I don't think they do theater, because I would think that I would be best known for playwriting.
Well, yeah, yes,
I
you would.
guess I'll have to do the one in New York.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah,
But you've been in a movie, you've been in a TV show, you've been in commercials.
yeah.
Mm, that'll work. All
Okay.
right. But
No,
in
I
the
just have a
meantime,
general one. Can it get by the Carpenters? Or actually, it could be by my grandfather's. That would be kind of cool too.
that would be very cool. Very, very cool.
Well, technically not my grandfather, but my father's stepfather. We'll call it my father's stepfather.
And then his
That's
wife.
actually legitimate.
Yeah. I still think that you should write a book or a movie or something, or maybe there was one about your grandparents, but
Oh, no, my grandmother. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll leave that for now. And Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, it's a for me. It's been actually a pretty busy week with shows. Um, keeping up on the Gilded Years. We kind of fell behind, so we're up to episode 3, and so then the season's still running, but it's all about opening up the Met in New York, and the old I can't remember what they called the original opera house. Um,
Uh,
they they everybody who's a part of the original opera house doesn't want to have another opera house, and at one point the character, the niece of oh god, I can't even think of her name, the woman who we love so much,
played by Catherine Brensky.
yes,
Catherine,
yeah, Bransky, when
yeah.
her niece goes, well, is there enough room in New York for 2 opera houses? No, there isn't. It's like, okay, shut her down. But I'll tell you, Baranski is the Christina Baranski is just she's just amazing. I
Mhm.
love her in everything she does. She is, and a lot like Frances Sternhagen, who just died. Any show that she's in is going to be better because she's in it,
And
hands down.
I think it was the Academy of Music.
Okay,
Yeah,
probably,
the
yeah,
original one.
yes.
Yes, yes, she's phenomenal. I've actually caught up to episode 5, so
Oh, okay,
I think
okay.
I'm a little ahead of you.
Yes, you are. The husband, the main husband with the dark beard,
Yes, he's
he
so
makes me
yummy.
weak, and he's not hairy at all, but that beard just makes me weak.
And he's so devoted to her, no matter how crazy she gets.
And
But
how and the ridiculous um that she you know the fame she's trying to achieve, and he still puts up with her shit.
yeah,
uh, but I'm loving the fact that, oh my god, it's just there's gays everywhere.
yes,
There are and we're finally getting some like nastiness, like the lady who was trying to sleep with her husband.
uh-huh.
You know,
And that
just
gets, I'm
that's
excited for you to watch more
it's
because,
it's
yeah,
just too much fun. It really is.
yeah.
And I don't know if Sean likes the show or not, but if I have to watch Loki, then he has to watch this. Uh, I haven't watched more of The Curse because I don't know what to expect.
Mm,
That's the one with Emma Stone
yeah.
and the small penises. I've really been enjoying Squid Game. Last week I told you that they had built a, a battleship game where
Yes, that was really
full,
cool.
full size. It was
Yeah.
I mean, I want one really bad. And this last couple episodes, they've been doing smaller things where they go, okay, we need 5 volunteers.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, and they get their 5 volunteers, and then it goes now. When you play your Jack in the Box, when it opens up, it'll give you an order of something to do,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, oh no. And one of them was like, okay, you've immediately been eliminated, you're out. And so one guy's, then it's like you could pick any 3 people you want and get rid of them in the game.
Yeah.
So a
Though
lot of
that
power.
that was a really good mini game.
Yeah, yeah. So you are watching it. Okay, I didn't know
Oh
you
yeah,
were.
I'm caught up, and then the last episode I guess is next week, but I'm caught
Okay,
up on all of that.
you're all the way to 10.
No, I think it's 9. Because the final has not been released yet, so I'm all the way up to the final 3, and
Okay.
I am very like karma impressed with who the final 3 are because there were so many assholes in this.
Oh, I know, but and I was telling Brian, it's surprisingly compelling
Yeah,
in
yeah, it
this,
really
and
is.
I'm getting involved with people who, rooting for people I didn't think I would.
Right.
It's an interesting show. I'm really impressed with what they pulled out.
Right. I was like, this is going to be schlocky, and I was probably basing it. Remember the the other Korean like champion show where they had like 50 strong people or 100 people, and then they whittled them all down, and they would smash their physiques on the way out. Do you remember that at all? It's probably for the better.
Okay.
But anyway, this is so much better than that.
Okay. So let's see. British baking show.
Yep.
Have you finished it yet?
Yes.
Okay. So it was last week and it was all over the internet. I already knew before I saw it who won.
See,
Uh,
I was very fortunate not to.
oh my God, it was everywhere. I don't know how you missed it.
I just, yeah,
Well, it started on Wednesday because it played on Wednesday in
mhm.
Great Britain.
I just finished it today.
Yeah, well, it started on Great Britain. And that's when I first saw it was Wednesday. It hadn't even gotten here yet. So it was like, fuck you people. Come on.
Uh,
But yeah, so I won't say who won, but it's the one everybody wanted to win, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, I actually thought uh, I mean, I was fine with him or any of the 3, but I thought it should have been the other one. If you know who I'm mean, I'm sure. I just thought that he was better all the way through, but it
Yeah.
really does come to this day's bakes.
Yeah, I wanted it to be the girl that left fourth place, so
Oh yeah, yeah, she
I
was
really
really
like. Let's see. Anyway, moving on. Challenge World Champion. Um, it's there's I mean, I've been watching these challenge shows for 20, 30 years now,
yeah,
and a lot of the same people are still in the shows, which is crazy. But it's also like there's too many of these shows. They're just
yes.
they're popping them out faster than RuPaul. So uh but at least
Yeah,
RuPaul, every time her cast is different. The
yep,
cast is practically the same every time. This one, they're bringing champions from um Australia, um Argentina, and Great Britain. They're bringing them with the Americans. So there are some new people, but it's still, the still a lot of old Americans that are there, and it's sad. Um, I'm on season 7 of True Blood, which is the final season, and we're kind of like we're nervous about starting it because we'll start it and it'll be over, and then the show's over, and
yep,
and it's kind of, when you're watching these shows, as you're getting to the 7th season. Now you're kind of thinking, well, if I just do it a little bit, leak it out a little bit of a time, then I'll stretch it out. But it's probably best just to watch it and get it over with. I know that's your theory. Um,
yeah.
Mass Singer this week. It was some guy from O Town was who the thing, and I knew nobody from O Town. I remember there being an O Town, and I remember they had a hit song, but I couldn't tell you what the song was. But anyway, so this was, I want to say it's Ashley, a guy named Ashley, I think, from O Town. I don't remember. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Survivor. Now you caught up with Survivor?
Uh, I may be one episode behind.
Okay, well then I just won't talk about it because
Oh,
it was a good um another good kind of
yeah, I
back.
think the last one I saw was the one where they sent the older guy, the the one who'd been there before. I can't
Say
remember
it, say it.
what. Oh, the older black guy. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
remember his name.
that was the last episode.
Oh, that
That's
was
Bruce.
okay. So then I
Yeah,
am caught up. Yeah,
that's Bruce.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Yes.
And but what was so funny was he was certain that they weren't going to do it because he had the idol, but they had done it to make sure that they got the idol to come out and get rid of it, so we didn't have to worry about that anymore. And he thought that they just wouldn't vote for him, and it's like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
bye-bye. And
Yeah.
poor Jake is like, every time he goes to the thing, he must be like, okay, I'm definitely got all my stuff packed because I'm ready to go. And
Uh-huh.
it's like, no, not you this week, because this is the third week that he has, escaped by the skin of his teeth.
Well, and even if they take him to the end, he's going to be the one that nobody's going to vote for him because he's just going to be like, what? Yeah, I just got carried along the whole time because people wanted other people out.
Yeah. Let's see. Minx, they had a key party. This is that takes place during the 70s, so key parties seems appropriate. And but the show is just, you watch it for the wieners.
Oh yeah.
Really
Yeah.
do. It's like it's an I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar kind of show of the 70s, and I like that aspect of it. But then it's also wieners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And it's nice to, see wieners in a show when they throw breasts around like it's nothing.
Oh, I know. On everything that is on cable, it seems.
Yeah. And then I finished Fall of the House of Usher, uh,
Oh, eh,
which is another excellent Netflix show. I don't know how they do it.
huh.
I don't know, because if you go back and the one where the couple, the family rented the house that was haunted. And then the episode, the one before that was the midnight mass about the vampires and on the island. And then you just keep going back and you look at all these great miniseries, limited series that they had, and the terrific actors. Actually, if you watch House of Usher, and you go and look at all the people that are in the cast, and go back to which one of the Netflix shows that they starred in,
Right.
it's kind of funny. So, but it's another good one worth seeing. And then I just saw a shitload of Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So I saw so far, and I may be repeating, so I know I'm repeating a couple of, but I did finish Elf, what I couldn't find last time. I finished this time. Um,
Good.
Little Drummer Boy, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Charlie Brown, Year Without a Santa Claus, Krampus, Prep and Landing, It's a Wonderful Life, and Arthur's Christmas. I finished all
Oh, that's
those.
such a good one.
Yeah, and it's weird because I posted a picture of from I've been posting, currently watching on
Yeah.
Facebook, and people are kind of it's amazing. I'm getting some really lovely stories of what these different shows mean to people, which I've really been appreciating. But there's not a lot of love for Arthur's Christmas. I don't think people really know it that well. And it's
Yeah.
sad because of all the garbage that's come out in the last 10 years. This is one of the good ones.
Yeah. You were the one who kept telling me to watch it, and I was like, I don't know, the animation looks kind of but I love it. I watch it every year now. It's
Uh,
really like a newfound classic for me.
and I got a little exciting news yesterday. I
Cool.
was I was, doing my usual Sunday thing, which is I record with Brian, then I have a phone call with some friends, usually this once a week or every other week.
Yeah.
And I got done with that. And then I was watching, then I catch up on my scaries, and I was watching Twin Paranormals. And what they've been doing is they say, if you go onto their Instagram account and you put hashtag the magic sentence that they're asking you to put on there, then they're going to draw names of people and call out during the episode your name. And mine was the first one called this week. I was very excited. So
Nice.
right there is my my YouTube account,
Uh,
and my picture right there, and they go, so I was just totally thrilled. I know
nice.
it's you know how it is.
Yes, it
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, it's one of those things that
Yeah, David Packman actually said my name a few weeks ago, and I was just like, "Whee!"
yeah, it's we take the little wins whenever we
Yep.
can get them. So
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
other than that, the house is coming together pretty
Mm,
well. I still need to figure out where I'm going to serve food, but we'll figure that out.
cool.
And since we don't have any pets, we can put things lower, because
Yeah,
at my niece's house, we were thinking, well, how are we going to put the food down? And so we're like second guessing what we're taking, because they've got two golden retrievers that are table nose ready.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We have our Munchkin. She likes to think that she can, jump up and grab something, but she can't. But then when Mr. Lurie Dean's pup Jax is over, yeah, Jax is pretty much nose to whatever counter or whatever there is. So yeah, he can just like, hey, a sandwich. It was just sitting
whe-
there. I thought it was for me.
Whether it's on a table or in a trash can, or
Oh yeah. In
boom,
fact,
boom, boom.
we actually got special trash cans because of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so I have not caught the final episode of The Golden Bachelor.
I
Uh,
did.
and okay, so we'll talk about that next week then.
Okay.
And then we've already talked about Survivor and Great British Baking Show.
Well,
Uh,
and I will tell you on the Golden Bachelor,
uh,
it's what I was saying a couple weeks ago, really comes into play. There, you have all these women, who are 60, or most of them are over 70.
Yes.
And and it's like you watch Tina, who's 28, get turned down by the Bachelor. That, Tina's off at the bar, when she gets home.
Uh,
These women, have the grandkids, and they're not going to go out to bars and look for men. And
yeah,
it feels kind of sad.
it does. But at least I like that they're walking away with it going, you know what? My life isn't over.
Right.
Yeah. So that's good. All right. Well, for me this week, I tried to watch some more stuff and watch some of the series. We've got some great series that are, different seasons of it coming out, thankfully. But actually, we kind of talked about a few of them already. We talked about the Gilded Age. Like I said, I'm up to episode 5 and absolutely loving it. The drama gets going, and I just read an article today that was saying how the Gilded Age is the least dramatic show on television, and that is why it's loved. And I kind of agree. It's kind of like Downton Abbey and some of the other shows. It's like, yeah, there's conflict, there's drama, there's things going on, but at the same time, it's not at a level that makes us stressed out. We're just like, oh, how are
It's
they
a
going to
soap
get?
opera.
Yeah.
You know,
So I'm absolutely loving it. There was well, anyway, we'll talk about that when you get there. Uh, the Squid Games challenge again, great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing who ultimately wins it. There were a couple characters, there were a couple players that ended up getting. I mean, it's kind of cutthroat the way that they get taken out. Uh, I mean, not like killing them or anything, but just how it's just like all of a sudden here's the Jack in the Box game, and 20 players just get wiped out like that unexpectedly. You're just
well,
like,
with the first game,
uh,
I really appreciated the people who got shot and acted like they were getting shot.
yeah,
The other ones that were just sitting there and they sit down. It's like, okay, if you're not going to live, play with the theme of the show, then you need to go. I
yeah.
hate that. I
Oh,
hate.
and the two, do you remember the okay, so the ones where they had to choose something and they were absolutely refusing to,
Yeah,
and then they ended up getting like all the players eliminated, and that
right.
happened in two different episodes, and every time it was a white guy that was the problem and got people eliminated because they were just so sure that they could just bro through. And I was like, you know what, I'm sorry that the other player got taken out, but I'm glad you're out because you're an idiot. So anyway, moving on. What else? So I also watched The Crown, and I am caught up on the episodes. They're releasing. This is another one that where they're basically splitting the release of the seasons. Um, so the and this one, the first 4 or 5 episodes or whatever, it was all about Diana and Dodie, and basically up to their death, and then an episode of having to basically tell the queen, look, you need to say something. It's very well done, and but I am just so over the Diana story at this point. I've seen it, movies and TV shows and specials, and just over and over and over, and I'm just so like, okay. And of course, it's the Crown. They have to do it. They're telling the story timeline, but I'm like, okay, let's. But now they're going to go into the whole William thing and William and Kate. So, yeesh.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
stopped watching.
it's good that it's ending.
I think I stopped watching the second season. It was just, I mean, I appreciated a lot of it,
Mhm.
but it was. I didn't like the fact that we were just hitting on major events,
Mhm.
and they would, do a whole show about what happened on that particular day, or the things that
Okay.
happened. Yeah, like when the fog, the killer
Oh
fog,
yes.
that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But yeah, so it just felt like, okay, now we're here's the story. Okay, now 4 years later, what? You know,
Right.
they're doing the same thing on um morning show on Apple. I mean,
Oh
they're not going 4 years, but they're bouncing around. I don't like bouncing around stories, That's just me.
yeah. No, I agree with you. There's how many series that we talked about last year where basically they got two episodes in, and then the third one was completely off the mark, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it was like 5 years ago, and then they'd come back to the modern one, and then it would be like 4 years in the future. I'm just like, come on,
Yeah, they do that
pick
in
a timeline.
and the funny thing is that they do it in Quantum Leap, but that's the story.
Right, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And
Yeah.
and that's fine. But on some, I get, I know what you're talking about. And the worst one for me was that stupid,
The Witcher.
the witch, the Last of Us, or
Oh
the
yeah, okay. Yeah.
because remember that one, in the third episode, it was the one where they had the gay storyline,
Yeah.
where, and it was a beautiful story, it really was. But it had nothing to do with the rest of the show at all. I watched the entire first season, and that episode had nothing to do with nothing.
They probably filmed all the others and said, oh shit, we're an episode short. What you got? But yeah, no, I didn't watch that one. Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think.
but it was really good. It was a good episode, and it was probably the best episode of the series. No,
Right.
it
No.
was the best episode of the series, but it had nothing to do with the series. That's what bothered me. The two main characters are only in it because they passed through the area.
Right.
And I'm sorry, that's like going, showing up at someone's wedding. Well, I went to school with them. Yeah, but they didn't invite you. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
but
Yeah.
I knew that back when I was, 50 years ago, when I was in school with them. Not how it works.
Yeah. A couple things I will say about The Crown is that I like the fact that they are taking the time to make Charles human in response to the stuff that happened with Diana, because they really did have a complicated relationship, uh, beyond just the crap that the media showed and everything. Um, and the other thing about, I also love the fact that they were basically Charles was trying to get the Queen to show up at things like Camilla's birthday party and stuff, to try to make her like accepted by society, and prime everybody that he would marry her. And she was just like, why? I don't even like her. Why? But anyway, she's like, I'm sure she's acceptable, but she's a little hussy. And but anyway, Imelda Stanton as the Queen, she's great.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's one of my top five most hated characters was played by her.
Yes.
And she's terrific. And then come to find out that she's not, just who we see all the time in shows, but you go back and you look, and they've got a copy of Gypsy that she played when she was in the West End, and she's done all these major plays and shit. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's Well, that's also what I love about so many of the so many actors. I mean, I just saw that Glenn Close was in I think it was the original cast of, oh God, what was the show? It was not Pippin. It was one of those shows like Pippin. But anyway, Glenn Close was in it on Broadway. Who knew? I didn't know
Wow.
she. I mean, I
Yeah.
knew she did some Broadway, but I didn't realize that it was a lot. And I knew she did Sunset Boulevard, so I knew she could sing. But still, I'm always thrown when you see like I've got a thing that's Broadway Remembered or something
Yeah.
on Facebook, and every once in a while it's like, oh, here's a show that was with Carol Burnett and um, you know, uh Richard Burton. It's like, what? What did they do a
Yeah.
show together? So
Wow.
it's yeah, fun. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So,
No, I totally agree. Okay, so anyway, that's The Crown. And those are the main things that I watched. There was, and they're series, so uh, I feel like I was slacking. I'm like, there's only 3 or 4, but I'm like, no, I watched like the whole fucking thing. So yeah. Okay, the other 2 things that I was going to talk about is one, I was on Matinee Minutia as a guest star. That's on the Univaz Pods.net network, and with DJ Star Sage, and Toppy Smelly, and we talked about who's the boss. And at first I was like, why do you want me to talk about who's the boss? They're like, well, Alyssa Milano. I was like, she was in charge. Oh, okay. I really enjoyed it. I went back and I watched a big selection of the episodes, and I this was like 1984 show. Okay, I forgot how much it pushed gender roles. And I mean, it really was groundbreaking in its way. So it was fun to watch, and it stood up enough the test of time that it was very enjoyable to watch. There wasn't any like, oh yeah, that wouldn't go over anymore. It was fun. So anyway, if you want to listen to the episode, go over to matineeminutia.com and you can check it out. And thanks to the boys for inviting me to be on the show. Also, so this is a little fuck up that happened through deliveries that I was going to share with you. So um, I ordered from Walmart, and I ordered 2 things, a bottle of water, and then a couple little other thing items, not much. Well, it kept saying I've never had any problem with deliveries, even if there were items that weren't available or whatever. I've still um, never had any problems with the order showing up. Well, this one didn't show up at all. And it kept saying pending, pending, be there in 2 hours for like over 24 hours. So I needed the water. I'll wait till Tom's done yawning so he can hear me. Anyway, the sun's getting to you. So I ordered, so the next day with it not being here, I basically ordered the same thing and then canceled that or the original order. And that day, I got my items, but instead of just 2 waters, I got 3. Okay, well, fine, whatever. And then later that night, I got a notice saying your delivery is here. And I went out, and my original delivery, which was canceled, was there. So now I have a whole ton of water and all this other stuff from Walmart. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not returning it. Well, then they charged me, even though I canceled it. So got to deal with that. But then the big thing happened. The big thing happened yesterday. It was a huge fuck up. So I ordered a Christmas present for my mom, and it was quite a big. Well, it was a thing, and they said it arrived. So I went out and looked, and so I ordered her a vacuum cleaner that she can handle. So anyway, I went out to get it, and there's just this like little medium-sized box sitting there. Well, I'm like, unless this is a Temu version of a vacuum cleaner, yeah. So I looked at it, and it's completely the wrong address. Completely the wrong address, wrong person, everything. So I'm like, okay, I just left it there in case the UPS figured it out. I came back in. I dealt with going through the chat bot. I ended up having to talk to a person named Mona, and let me tell you, a person named Mona, it's got to either be an AI or it's got to be some call center where they don't give a fucking anyway. So I'm chatting with it, trying to explain to it what's going on. They're like, "Oh, so you want us to send you a replacement vacuum cleaner?" I'm like, "Well, but the other one's out there somewhere. Can't you figure out where that is?" Like, "No, we'll just send you a replacement. Do you want a replacement? Okay, fine. Send me a replacement vacuum cleaner." And then they literally tell me, "And if the other one shows up, don't worry about it." Like, just have two vacuums, one on us. But it's gonna be lost to the anyway. But I'm like, okay, but you still there's a package here for someone else. Can you get your driver to come out and pick it up and take it to where it belongs? And they told me in the chat, oh, if they figure it out and come back, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Like, just keep the item. We don't care. I have not opened it. I don't intend to open it. But yeah, I'm just like, what is the matter with companies that are just so ready to write off like these everything? I'm asking you. Do you have any idea?
No, I mean,
Like,
it's the whole, delivery at home thing it's a crapshoot a lot of times. It really is. So, um, yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've only had a couple things that haven't shown, but they were usually Amazon, and they just sent me the same thing out again. And
right. Same.
yeah, I mean, that's good. Oh, and I did have the thing that I bought from China that ended up being, I ordered a whirligig and it ended up being
Right.
a watch. And then
Yeah.
they go, well, why don't you just keep the watch? And it's like, I don't want a watch. I want my whirligig. And they're like, oh, well, we don't know where that is.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, great. Okay, how do I send this watch back? Well, you send it back at your own expense. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. Well, then you keep the watch.
Uh-huh. That's basically what they were telling me with this stuff.
If you
And
want
then
the
they
watch, I
they
still
literally
have it.
no, I don't
You don't
need
need
a
it. Okay.
watch either. But I was like telling them, I'm like, well, and they told me, oh, and if there's a return ticket on something, don't worry about it. Just keep it. I'm like, oh my goodness.
See, that's what I was worried about with Timu, that it was going to be like, yeah, I didn't get my package. Oh, well, we're sorry.
Yeah. No,
No, no.
Timo has always been fine, except that this last one I had two items that weren't there. And I think it was because they kept saying it was pre-ordered. So I guess they were out, but they shoved in a bunch of Christmas ornament stuff that I didn't order. And they were just like, here, have this free on free on us for not having your shit. Um, but yeah, the only other time I had a major, oh, that's very pretty. The only other time I had a major problem was when they brought me a pie and it was thawed and melted and dripped all over the place. And
Timu sent you a pie?
no, that would be interesting, but no, after 10 days I probably wouldn't want it. No, it was Walmart sent
Oh,
me a thawed pumpkin pie and it just went all over the place. They returned my money and said, "Don't worry about returning it." I'm like, "Well, there's really nothing to return. It's in the trash now." Anyway, all right.
poor thing.
I know. I wanted my pie. Okay, Miss Manners. My two grandchildren, ages 7 and 9, are very sweet, but have terrible table manners. I lived with them for 18 months during the pandemic and taught them to put their napkins in their laps, keep their elbows off the table, hold the knife and fork properly, and chew with their mouths closed. That's wonderful. However, we just went on a family vacation together, and I had to remind them of every rule during the meal. When they are at their mother's house, she doesn't correct them, and my son has gotten tired of trying. How can I convince the children that table manners matter? You can invite somebody over who laughs at them and taunts them and says, "Oh, you're gross." I don't know.
Yeah, well, it sounds like grandma's already doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I there's informal settings and there's formal settings, and I was taught all that stuff. And when I got older, I was very thankful that I was able to know what to do and to have manners when I was out with, other people and everything. But
Sure.
when you're a kid, it just seems like you're just trying to control us. Anyway.
Well, I think it's sad that, the kids don't have, decent manners as far as, just, I'm sorry, eating at a table, I mean, I remember when I first met Sean, when he cut when he cut like a steak,
Yeah.
he put the fork in like this and cut it.
Yeah.
And it was close to being like a
Surgical.
definite like line in the sand. But I got over that. I got over that part. But yeah, it's just it's weird. But people aren't raised well anymore.
Right.
Kids aren't, it's basically there's a scene out of Big Mouth where the mother comes home with McDonald's and throws the bag on the counter, and the kids just rip open the bag and food flies everywhere, and they're on the floor eating, burger because they're like, yeah, just
Yeah.
they feed them like they feed the dogs.
Well, sometimes you gotta do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely am, like I think that manners need to be taught and it needs to be instilled, but at the same time, there's also informal settings where you just need to kind of chill. So anyway, that's
Well, yeah, but I still think that there's got to be some sort of, you know, table table manners that you set up with the kid. I mean,
oh yeah,
they go out and they eat at school and things like that. They've got to know how to be, how to act in like in front of people.
right, exactly. And that's why I think it's important that they know how to do it. I'm
Right.
just saying that when you're at home and it's lunchtime and you got a burger and you're in a hurry, do you really want to make this tell them to chew 25 times and do all this stuff if it's a burger? But when you're sitting there having dinner and having company, they damn well need to know how to act.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Miss Manners said, "You are about to become a celebrated hostess. Going through the parents has not worked, and Miss Manners assures you that going against them with criticism certainly will not work. What you will do then is to offer a glamorous alternative. Dinner at Grandmama's will now include dressing up, setting a festive table, maybe play acting a bit, or dinner at a restaurant. If those are glamorous occasions, practicing good manners will be part of the fun." I like that idea. That's very neat. I mean, it might get a little bit when they're, teenagers and just want to go play a video game, but still, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Hey, Chubs. Timothy wants to know, do you like when servers sing happy birthday in a crowd, sing you happy birthday in a crowded restaurant?
I don't want them singing to me happy birthday if I'm the only one in the restaurant.
Yeah. Yes. Y'all put me through that
Oh
once.
no, it wasn't me.
Oh,
I would never do that to you. It was
thank
everybody else.
yeah. Uh,
You notice I probably wasn't singing either because I was glaring.
no, I,
You're
yeah,
talking about at the ice cream place, right?
yes, at that ice cream
Yes.
place, which was really neat. And I did not like the singing, of course. That just, not my thing. For those that like it, that's great, but it's not my thing. But what I thought was funny was one of our waiters ended up being somebody that did a bunch of acting with, and he had grown up so much and had a beard, and I didn't even recognize who he was. So anyway, but yeah, that part was fun, but no, thank you. Hey Chubs, Timothy wants to know, do you celebrate your pet's birthday?
Well, yeah.
I'll eat a cake on a pet's birthday. Yeah.
Well, you'll eat a cake any day, but no, I'm talking about do you buy a cake for the pet and let them eat some of it?
There have been times, not, I mean, I want a dog friendly cake, of course, for them, but there have been times when we've done something like that. But as a general rule, it's, kind of acknowledge that the dog is a year older or the cat is a year older, but they don't give a shit. They're just like,
Oh no, they do.
uh-huh, sure.
Honey knew it was her birthday
Yeah.
because I let her know it was her birthday. And
Wow.
she was excited.
That's good.
And she got a cake and it was not pet friendly either.
But well. But
It's also
sometimes
not that much. I'm not giving her the whole fucking cake.
you give her like
It was
a
like a Hostess
three-tiered like
cupcake or
birthday
something.
cake, and you're just
Yeah.
like,
And
yeah,
by
yeah.
the way, big dogs can take chocolate, a little bit of chocolate. It's fine.
Oh, we're not talking about that. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I do usually like, you know, buy them new collar or a coat or something like that. Just,
A new
uh,
coat.
well, Kaya needs a coat because she's a little girl and she gets cold and she needs something fancy to wear outside.
No, no, she needs a kick in the ass to shut up.
That's horrible. Don't let her hear you next
Oh,
time you come over.
hey, come on. I'll go one-on-one with her.
You'd have bloody stumps, I think.
Sure.
All right. So next up, what's in your lunchbox? Well, Mr. Moose wrote in and he sent in something quite wonderful. Fast food tenders from Bojangles, seasoned with a little red pepper and really good slaw, mashed potatoes with sausage gravy, biscuit biscuit complete the meal. Iced tea is included. And you're in the South when a restaurant gives you free iced tea. Hmm. Is it sweet tea? Probably not. Yeah.
Looks good.
It looks great. It looks absolutely
Looks a
great.
lot like Popeyes. At
Yes.
least the biscuit does.
Yeah. No, it looks really good.
But the gravy is totally different than KFC or Popeyes.
You know what was really a thing for me a couple days ago here? Pizza's my favorite food. Chicken tenders right up there with it, but pizza is like my absolute favorite. Well, the other day I was so burned out. I was just like, I said to mom, why don't we just order a pizza? And she said, that sounds really good. I haven't had pizza in a long time. So I ordered Little Caesars, like they're just pepperoni pizza. I was like, this is the third restaurant in a row that we have ordered from, and I don't like pizza. I just have not liked their pizza anymore. I don't know what it is, but
Called Little Caesars. That's why you don't like the pizza.
well, that could
That's why
be a
everyone else doesn't like the pizza.
now. I'm not saying that I didn't eat it, but like the last several pizzas from different places I've ordered, I just haven't liked them.
Well, that's because you like garbage pizza.
I like, my favorite pizza actually is Mountain Mike's, but I
That's
don't.
because it was in walking distance of the old house, the old
Oh,
apartment.
that made it very easy, although I still had it delivered. Uh, but they made really, really good pizza. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
With
then,
well, pizzas, you get what you pay for. It's like Red Baron pizza that we had on your birthday. That was
was
the
it
first
Red
pizza
Baron?
I had
I
had in
thought it
a
was a
year.
Tombstone.
Well, it doesn't matter. Whichever one it was garbage pizza.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was just like I'm like, ooh, pepperoni pizza, and I haven't had pizza in like a year.
Uh,
Uh, now I'm sorry I had that.
yeah, exactly.
Thank God Lawrence made the
Roast
chuck.
beast. Oh, that was so good.
I'm
Um,
making that tonight, by the way.
oh, very cool. They have these little $2 pizzas that are like just like knockoff thin ass cheap, you know, little things. I get one of those and I put extra cheese on it and then a little pieces of sausage and some mushrooms and cook that, and it's actually really good. I upgraded the cheap shit, but I can't do that on any other pizza. It just tastes like crap.
Well, if you start off with bad crust, you're going to end up with a bad pizza.
Absolutely.
Just the way it
Absolutely.
works.
And you know what? The Winco, they changed their crust on their pizzas and it has this weird taste to it now and can't stand it. I know, I'm a snob. All right, and Tom has a little item here in the lunchbox he wants to talk to you about.
Well, on the subject of Winco, when we were at Winco last week after Thanksgiving, they had, reduced cost turkeys. So I wanted a carcass, and Sean wanted to smoke the turkey. So I brought it home and he smoked the turkey.
Yeah.
It was funny because this was about 4.5 hours in, and
Oh,
according to the information, it said it needs to be in for another 3 hours. And I'm like, fuck them.
what?
It's not, it does not. And see, you can even see the little thing popped out on the side.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a
so
beautifully done turkey.
yeah, and it was actually, it was very tasty. The smoke ring doesn't, you don't get a very good smoke on a turkey because the skin's so thick,
Uh,
but it still had a good taste to it. And he cooked it all on the smoker. I brought it in, and it was funny because he had a work baby shower to go to. So he left, and when he came back, he's going like, "Where's the turkey?" And I said, "Oh, it's in the fridge." And he goes, "There's it's not in the fridge." And I said, "Yeah, it is. There's stock."
oh,
Then I boiled the carcass. There's the stock from it. There's the wings and the legs. I cut those down. I'm going to use those for my next stock.
hmm.
And then there's the sliced turkey. The breast had literally no turkey on it. I mean, no meat at all.
Happened with us too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I swear to God, I got chickens from San Miguel Market here. It was $2.97 a pound. I got no, actually it was Safeway, and I got like 3 pounds of them, and the chicken breasts were bigger than the breasts on the turkey.
Yeah.
They were huge,
Yeah.
huge, and the turkey was not. But I ended up making sandwiches. I
Mm.
made last night. I made turkey, kind of a turkey stew with the leftover turkey meat from the thigh, and then I made up some rice and put some carrots and potatoes in that, and made up the gravy from the stock, and it was pretty tasty. Got some of that, and so we got a few meals out of it, and then we're gonna have two things of stock.
I
But
love your pan.
yeah, that's my lasagna pan. It's
Oh,
huge. I like to make a deep dish lasagna instead of, I mean, we're talking, it's about 4 inches thick.
oh, that's
Yeah,
lovely.
and it's really good. And this is my lasagna pan, but
Mm.
it's perfect for a medium to small turkey as well. So
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's really beautiful. Do you use what do you put any stock or water into steam to add a little moisture?
no, no, not at
That's
all.
what I usually do. I usually cook mine with I put foil over the top for most of it, and then like the last half hour take it off. But I put just like a half a cup or so of water in the bottom of it, and it keeps everything very moist and hydrated. But I usually end up with cheaper turkeys, so you know what I mean.
Yeah,
They need a little bit more help. This time I had a butterball, and they did the same thing, and it was just so once it finally cooked, it was just so amazing.
yeah. Butter balls are nice because they have bigger breasts. Uh, they're I mean, it's a better bird. I mean, I got a Winko bird. I think
It
it was
really
called Winko.
is. Yeah. And I usually don't cook with butterballs because they're expensive, but this one I got on a really good sale price.
Because you got called that when you were a kid.
Uh, Probably
Yeah,
I've called pretty much everything there is.
yeah.
So,
If there's
anyway,
if there's a term for fat or gay, I got called that. So
yep. Yeah, tubby. All right. Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And give us a call at
408 69. Oh, Chubs.
It is the season. You got to add the extra
And it's
hose.
and be you bring in the Christmas spirit. And if you're not, if you don't celebrate Christmas, then you don't have to. But if you do celebrate Christmas, get in the mood. And
That's
I'm talking
right.
about you, mister.
I know. I've
And
got
if you force yourself to watch some of the Christmas shows, and then you'll find yourself, and when you're watching those, put down the iPad, put down the phone, and actually watch them. I had such a good time watching It's a Wonderful Life because I had my iPad plugged in and my iPhone was sitting there, but I don't like it's too small for me. So I had nothing to do but watch the show, and it was really, really much more enjoyable than half-ass watching it the way I do most things.
that's yeah, that's a good thing. You know what? I've never seen that all the way through. I've seen big chunks of it, but never just sat and watched it all the way through.
Well, remember the guy who's taken Mary to the school dance at the beginning of the show is actually Alfalfa from the Little Rascals, grown up.
Oh, I will remember that. Yeah,
And
I really need to make a point to watch it this year.
it's funny because he's a little trivia on him. He's also in White Christmas too. Um, and the part he's in is when the Haynes sisters are there going, "Oh, I just heard from my brother who you guys were in the army with." "Oh yeah," and they show his picture and it's Alfalfa, and he goes, "Yeah, what a good looking kid." But that's the only part you see him in.
I never really got that reference.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and so that was really funny because it's like Alfalfa got, he didn't have much of a career past the Little Rascals, but he's in two of the biggest Christmas movies of all times. So,
Wow.
we all take our wins there, and he has. I'm sorry, if you're in White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life, you picked the right movies to be in. So
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you in a week. Enjoy your holidays. Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.